Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Everyone has their favorite one and their favorite adaptation. I kind of wish the 80s version wasn't so favored in merchandise, because I'm an early 2000s kid. My deepest relationship with these characters is the 2003 cartoon, a show that is truly something to behold when it comes to bringing you through a journey. We venture through the funniest of times, the bleakest of times, to the most epic of times. The resulting aftermath is a childhood where you really know these characters like they're real people. Each turtle are pieces of a whole person. They're all disciplined, talented, joyful, intelligent, and irritable in their own degrees, but because they're always together, they get to independently find comfort in which trait speaks to them the most. Leonardo is the leader, calm, honorable, and focused. Raphael is tough and emotional. Michelangelo keeps everyone light, and Donatello, well, he does machines or whatever. However, the TMNT story that's so dark that it actually got removed from 4Kids is a case study for why he's actually the MVP. We see what happens when we remove him from the equation, how this rational, calm voice is actually what keeps everything together. It's an episode which gave me nightmares as a child. Something changing your mind. In a world where Shredder is taken over it and gives uplifting messages like,
"There is no hope. There is only the Shredder,"
and is on his way to conquer the stars using captured scientists, what's especially gut-wrenching is how this could have happened if the Turtles didn't board Shredder's ship.
We don't stop the Shredder now. Millions of innocent beings throughout the galaxy will suffer at his hands.
This version of him is a space war criminal who would have absolutely came back to conquer Earth with his army. Donatello gets sent to this timeline after an ambush by another guy, leaving him confused.
This place feels like it's been abandoned for a long time.
Our timeline is now recontextualized as what ought to have happened. A painful memory we bring alongside Donnie to this adventure. But as consolation, we get a badass one-armed Mikey who shoots down a helicopter, killing everyone. It's crazy.
Where the shell have you been all these years?
He's had to live here for 30 years with a feeling of abandonment, because Donnie didn't tease Mikey like Raph did, or ignore him like Leo sometimes would.
Hello?
He was his friend, a true companion who operated on the same casual wavelength despite being on the other end of the intelligence spectrum. This is why, out of everyone, Mikey had to change his fundamental demeanor and outlook to survive.
You'll get used to it. Besides, what can you do?
Through this interaction, we're introduced to trauma as a theme, the idea of walking through a shattered present, where you're obsessively looking backwards to events so incomprehensibly awful that a divided existence is the only way to live. But Donnie is this force that reconnects and reassembles everyone, and he does so just by being who he is. In the woods is Master Splinter's grave, a broken wooden piece with his walking stick next to it.
Master Yoshi used to bring him here to the park back in the day.
What's especially heartbreaking is that Splinter died so his sons can live, but this ironically permanently splintered them all because Leo gave the order to leave him. Raph cannot forgive this, and this is too sensitive of a topic for either of them to compromise.
If we had gone back there, we would have all been destroyed.
What this reveals is that as much as these two always argue for leadership and often get the most attention, they're not the most mature members, because they're the most emotionally dependent on Splinter. Without him, they're hopeless to such a degree that they can't take any actions in the present. Even Mikey is more cooperative. Only April is carrying on the good fight. However, every single attack has led to more casualties, including Casey Jones.
Hey, I think he heard you, Raffy.
And then there's Hun and Baxter, ironically the muscle in the brain that's helped Shredder for years, now discarded, poetically sharing a body since Hun was Baxter's Punisher.
I wish I'd been put out of my misery.
Everyone are so obsessed with what they ought to have done that they are incapable of acknowledging the needs of the present and create new plans. Shredder's palace is surrounded by an army with an exosuit that's unbeatable. So from everything, we arrive at a question: with all these broken pieces, how do we make something out of it? How do we find imagination in a hopeless situation? The answer is just Donnie being who he normally is and reminding everyone they can deal with it the way they usually do.
Maybe I can't change the past, but that doesn't mean there isn't a way to change the present.
Resilience isn't some sort of magical quality in life that some people have and some people don't. Resilience is our attachment towards normality. And for Donnie, normal is always a work in progress, a place for advancement, guided by curiosity. And throughout this episode, we've effectively been seeing a reality without Donnie's involvement. His need to always upgrade the Lair's security is what kept it secret from the Foot. Without him, they would have lost it years ago. His reliability in giving rational solutions kept the peace between Leo and Raph, and his sheer innocent inability to give in to nihilism.
Come on, Professor. Be okay. Be be okay.
is what kept Mikey afloat and the gang together in the darkest of times.
You think he can hear us?
Perhaps. Without you, it just didn't work. Guess we really needed that level head of yours.
I don't know what happened to you guys, but the turtles I knew believed that nothing was ever hopeless.
Donnie's resilience is what encourages Leo and Raph to shake hands as they've always done, and Donnie has been cooking. As Karai reports to Shredder, the turtle tunneler then busts through from the ground to bypass the security. Donnie has a massive exosuit made from scraps. There's a moment which I find kind of hysterical where he just starts mowing people down. April also then appears with a grenade launcher. These are like the most hardcore images. However, what follows are the darkest final moments I've ever witnessed in an animated TV show called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Against Baxter's will, Hun begs for Shredder to take him back, and in response, they get crushed. I have no idea how this made it past the censors. On top of this, Mikey gets surrounded and is stabbed to death. Leo has his final fight with Karai. The tragedy of Karai is that she's always confused honor with loyalty, therefore she's delusional in her blind servitude to her father, even when executing such atrocities.
You dishonor me with your insolence.
But Leo refuses to let their history interfere with what's needed to be done right now to end this nightmare.
Not this time, Karai. This time you have to make a choice.
Leo is, of course, the better fighter, but then when he's distracted, she guts him. Enraged, Raph takes on Karai. He loves his brother, he's always had, but he's bested, and Raph crawls alone to Leo's corpse. They enter the world together, and they leave together.
Leo! Hey, Leo. If you need anything,
How about another round of follow the leader? As in, back home.
I'll be right outside.
Well, I say, who needs you? It's not like we can't get on without you playing fearless leader.
Karai is sorrowful of what she's done. However, April brings justice by nuking her in the face. I love how April just gets angrier when Karai tries to fight her wounds. It's just amazing. Despair was the feeling that had eaten everyone alive. It made them follow their lowest instincts for so long, distrust, rage, and hatred. But in these moments, they can stop to breathe. As Shredder gloats, Donnie stays calm and activates his plan.
You always did claim victory before you actually won.
He chains up Shredder to pull him directly into the drill, where he is utterly eviscerated. Like, you see Shredder become nothing. It's completely crazy. Donnie is all that's left. This is a nightmare, but April argues it isn't anymore. The Turtles has given them hope and thanks him as he leaves. The sun rises for the first time. Hope is not about waiting for something to be better. It's about demanding it and making it real, even when time consistently proves it doesn't work. Shredder transformed from an incomprehensible threat to someone mortal because Donnie was too innocent to give up. His curiosity and inquisitive nature transcended from just a quirk to becoming a messianic quality. It changed everything.
Remember, there's always hope, no matter what.
Watching this episode in what was supposed to be just a bored late activity kind of rocked my night away and made me think about life, you know? I ended up writing this paragraph on my phone, which I will now read. I think we're all incomplete, looking to those that seem like they know what they're doing, so we feel less anxious about our existence. This episode, with all its darkness, shouts a loud message about being calm, rationalizing an issue, and then solving it. Whatever horrors lies ahead, we can only benefit from staying calm and not being overwhelmed in the present. These four brothers are pieces of a person. Together they reflect a comprehensive reflection of us. We can all be a bit silly, a bit emotional, a bit strategic, but what holds it together is a bit of hope. That we can put those feelings together and create something. And not give up when things get worse and when we can't imagine anything else. We can be inventive in times of despair. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, man. Good golly gosh.
I can't believe I just clapped for that.
I am so confused right now, baby. Didn't work for us, didn't work for us. And I guess it's over now, baby. Didn't work for us, didn't work for us.
I have no idea if anyone's going to watch this. Hopefully it was mildly interesting. Also, especially thanks to everyone on Patreon. You guys are aces.